What's up? What's happening? Ah, yeah. That's how I be feeling, but it feels good. So, I'm going to talk about something that I usually don't talk about. And it does affect all of us. It affects us, how we conversate with each other, you know, how we look at each other, how we deal with each other. I want to talk about this rumor and this buzz going around about Dave Chappelle. And then I'm going to put a little prophecy out there because I can do that. I'm a consumer, okay? I'm not in the entertainment industry. I don't know Dave. I only know what the media puts out. So I have not met him personally. I haven't sat down and conversated with him. I haven't looked at his family album. I ain't did none of that shit. But since he puts his life out there for people to see, we can only assume, what we see and what we know behind his closed doors. So I'm gonna speak on it from what I've seen because people around me, you hear it. You hear people talking about the shit. And I watched the show and I thought it was funny. I thought it made sense. I thought he made fun of things that needed to be fun. Life is fun. And if you got humor, then why not use your humor to withdraw from the fucking depression or oppression that people try to put you under? Society try to put you under, the government try to put you under, the military try to put you under, the authorities, they try to put you under suppressing situations. The law is very suppression, especially if they don't put the shit out every day or, make it their business to use the news to put, updated laws. The news don't do that. So what we have is Dave Chappelle and Richard Pryor and Red Fox and my personal favorite, Cat Williams. He's my favorite. Okay, hands down, he's the most controversial news reporter, comedian I've ever seen in my lifetime. Okay, he is for me what Richard Pryor was, controversial. You know what I'm saying? He went through it. But as far as Dave Chappelle is concerned, yes, he's funny, but there's something about Dave Chappelle that I'm putting my finger on it. I'm just not talking about it. I'm finna talk about it now. And that's the fact that Dave is a setup. Okay, he's what they're using as a pawn, the media as a pawn. I don't have to know who he is to see the mission. I don't know. In the entertainment industry, every fucking entertainer has one mission, and that's to make a wealthy life out of entertaining. And the biggest dream to have as an entertainer is to have your own network. Every fucking entertainer is striving for this, to have your own network. Okay? Dave Chappelle is no different. He is one of those people who is looking for his own network. Okay? And we all see what happens to black men when they strive and get closer and closer and closer to owning their own network. Which means they have full control and autonomy over everything that they put out on that particular channel. That's why we got YouTube. YouTube is great. Okay, YouTube is awesome. You create your own channel, and there's so many channels on this motherfucker. You'd be on YouTube for your lifetime. Okay, so Dave Chappelle hang around with a lot of Europeans. He was booted in by Europeans. The Late Night Show. Okay? He appeared so many times on the Late Night Show. How can you not know who the fuck Dave Chappelle is? How can you not know who he is? He's being promoted by the Late Night Show. Okay? He's being promoted by these Europeans. He don't know, in a sense, where he's striving for his career. He's striving to be an entertainer. So you got a European agent, you have a European manager, you have a European setting, and you're a black man. You're allowed to talk about black and white shit, controversial shit. You're allowed to talk about these things. And a lot of people don't know. In the late night shows, on these television shows, these sit-down shows, they have signs. And the audience is looking at these signs. And these signs say, applaud, stop applauding, laugh. They tell the audience what the fuck to do. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't realize that when they're watching these shows. Okay, there's signals. And in return, there's sometimes they got prompters in front of the entertainers. They're using prompters, which is signals for them. Now, Dave is promoting transgender. And transgender is not real. That's not no real shit. That's not a real thing. That's some shit made up by somebody who wants to be something else other than what they are. That's what that is. Transgender is not no real shit. Okay? Now, when you got a person with the two genders in the same pocket, that's some real shit. Hermaphrodite is what they call it. That's real. That's a real, if you want to say transgender, that's what a real transgender is, a hermaphrodite. And I don't see them standing up begging for rights. I don't hear them in a committee protesting. I don't hear hermaphrodites asking for justice. I hear people who are fake as fuck. They want to be something else other than what their birth certificate is saying. And he made a good point. It's what your birth certificate says, who you are and what you are. What you came in as is what you are. Not your feelings, getting your feelings, and then you try to change who you are. That's deception. That's deception on your part. That's deception on other people. And that's why so many men in general get angry. It's an instant anger because you're posing as something that you're not. It's not like you just coming out in the first, 2-3 minutes in the conversation saying, listen, I'm a man and I love being a woman. That's not what you're doing. You're making yourself up to look like something that you're not, and you're trying to fool somebody into thinking that this is what you are, and you're not. And when a straight man figures this out, have to figure it out, that's anger. That's because you're being deceptive. Now it's trying to be a community of a whole bunch of men posing as women, thinking that they can get by with this concept. And you can't reproduce. You're not reproducing as a woman. So that does not mean that you can be a woman. That does not mean that you could be with a straight man who's looking to procreate. Dave Chappelle is opening up the doors for these people. He has opened up the doors for these people in such a fucking slick way where he got everybody on board. Like I'm watching this YouTube and I'm looking at, only thing coming up on my feed is certain people responding to Dave Chappelle. It's like Netflix and Dave Chappelle. That's all you hear. That's all I'm seeing on my feed. Like, wow, this guy has promoted Netflix and promoting transgender at the same fucking time. And I'm gonna tell you like this. No news, no response is bad. R. Kelly is the master of conflict, drama. He is the master of getting people all riled up while he's doing something else. He's the master of that shit. I mean, it's brilliant, but it's deceptive. And it has been his way of getting out of the entertainment business. Is using himself and other women in situations that has happened. He used that as a scapegoat. R. Kelly's not in jail. Y'all, some of y'all just stupid as fuck, and you're so in depth inside of the entertainment that you can't see behind the scenes. I myself, I've been behind a lot of scenes. I've been behind a lot of cameras. I've been in a lot of studios. I met a lot of people, and I don't like it. I personally, I don't like it. This right here is the only fucking television reality you're gonna get right here. This is the only fucking reality, unrehearsed. But nuts to a lot of other people that Dave Chappelle had to do a lot of takes on his show, okay, on his stand-up. All that shit was not just a run-through. No, this shit was rehearsed. Dave, you can't say that, or Dave, it would be best if you say this, or let's get these people over here to laugh. Let's get this crowd over. This is what the fuck y'all don't see. Y'all don't see this. And there's a lot of crowd participation. Now there's entertainer participation. And the promotion is transgender. I can't even say shit right. Transgender is what is being promoted. Maybe they have put in a lot of money. Maybe they had paid Dave or is paying Dave to promote this shit under the table. Or we can't see it as consumers. We can't see this shit. We don't hear about this shit. Okay? But my prolific prophecy about this is, they're setting Dave up, and Dave is not who we think he is. I feel like it's like a face-off moment. Like, it's been a face-off moment. Something happened that we didn't see. And all of a sudden, now this guy pops up out of the blue, say he came from Africa, ain't been there for 2 weeks, and saying all this controversial shit, riling people up. Just before then, he was doing a show, his own show. And a lot of people don't even realize Richard Pryor was doing this shit way before he did. Richard Pryor did his own show. His show was off the chain, just like fucking Dave Chappelle. It's like Dave Chappelle just took Richard Pryor shit and remixed it. That's all he did. Oh my God, that's all he did. Okay? He didn't do nothing prolific. But his setup is when he went to Africa. I do believe in clones. I believe in cloning. I believe that there's enough technology that we're using today that a lot of people don't even fucking realize that, hey man, there's a lot of shit that can happen that you don't see and you don't realize. It's in your face, but you don't see it. And to be honest, I think that it took $50 million to create this clone. And this clone all of a sudden entered the scene because this guy does not look like Dave Chappelle to me. He don't look like Dave Chappelle. It's been so many, the entertainment is so saturated with lies. That's what it is. The entertainment business is nothing but lie. It's built off lie. It's entertainment means lie. Okay? It means imitate the truth, but exaggerate it. You know, get people to see the enter a moment of unreality and cement them to submit themselves to be programmed as the truth. This is how entertainment energy moves. Okay? And that guy, just like I believe in the Michael Jackson situation, is not the person that we're looking at, is not the Dave Chappelle. He's not. He's just not. That's what I see. I see clearly through it. Just as show as these motherfucking glasses, and I put them on, and it's extra sight. This shit don't mean I can't see. This means I could see a little bit more better than from what the fuck I was seeing previously. Bet that. This guy is not the real. He's an imitation. He's a clone. And I feel as though that this person is getting ready to be set up to be murked. Bottom line. And what's going to happen is, with this murking, is it's going to really, really rattle the whole United States. It's going to rattle the United States into a transgender war. Okay? And this is going to be the ultimate shit. This is going to be, you talking about the fuse. We're talking about from COVID. We're talking about from Kobe to COVID to Dave Chappelle now to transgender shit. We're talking about all these elements that are building up to create a military exercise. Okay? All this shit has to do with just a military exercise. You know, entertainment, games, droids, robotics, technology, all this shit is under the umbrella of the military exercise. You didn't know that, did you? You didn't realize that, did you? I don't think you did. But now you should know. You could look this shit up all day, every day. They open themselves up for people who want to know, who's actually seeking the truth. Seek the truth and you shall find. But it don't mean you're going to like it. See, that don't mean you're going to be happy about it. That's what that means. So you have to be in pursuit of your own happiness after you have seeked and found the truth. you have to pursue happiness. Happiness just, it comes as a child, but you lose that shit through education. But when you go through, being educated, learning your ABCs, trying to learn your ABCs, and then you get a grade for it that could either make you happy or it could make you sad or it could make you depressed. It's one of those effects that happens through education and throughout your whole life through being educated. These emotions create certain effects from people, and you get different reactions out of people. Out of different races, out of different genders, out of different, it's a whole lot of shit that already has been calculated and has been put in an experimental mode for the military to know how people act, react, what they're gonna do. This shit is, even this YouTube, it's under the shit. It's under the umbrella. But that's my message. Don't believe in this Dave Chappelle shit. People need to start responding to this shit. Dave is a comedian. He's not who you think he is. And I can see that. I don't know the motherfucker, but I can see clearly that, this person is fooling a lot of people. Just like, the ironic shit from Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson fooled a lot of people, and a lot of people don't realize that during Michael Jackson's situation of being Michael Jackson did not want to be Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson wanted to be somebody else, and he made it happen. Okay, he made enough money to sit down with Quincy Jones and a whole bunch of facial, how I want to say it, people who do all this makeup artist. They sat down and they playing this shit out. And if you have not seen the video Thriller and really looked at the video, just studied that video, you would see right through that shit. You would see that, okay, that was the first Michael Jackson. For other many Michael Jacksons to follow. People don't realize that Michael Jackson had a Michael Jackson lookalike contest all over the fucking world to search for a Michael Jackson who looks like him, who acts like him, who has the same demeanor, who can imitate his demeanor. And this is a method that was done by kings in the ancient world. Kings who were sought to be assassinated. They look for people who look like them, to pose as them, and to go through situations and do things for them to avoid from getting killed. Okay, and now you have it in the modern time where they call it look-alike contest. Michael Jackson held a goddamn look-alike contest that blew the fucking world. Like, nobody realizes this shit. Nobody. It happens so fucking fast, and it happens so hard that people don't realize that, Michael Jackson took under different faces. He hired motherfuckers to be him while he hauled ass. He didn't want to be Michael Jackson. They turned Michael Jackson into a fucking franchise. Michael Jackson is not who you think. You see an entertainer. You see a franchise entertainer. That's a franchise entertainer. He's entertaining your ass through a company who planned on taking the real person out of the equation because he didn't want to be there. He didn't like what he was receiving. People mobbing, people trying to kill him. He couldn't have no real kids because motherfuckers would plot on trying to, take his kids as ransom. You know, he had to think about all this shit as a young man. Now, if you don't pay attention, you don't see the interviews that this young man had, and you got to hear the shit that he says. You got to really listen to this shit he says. And I'm gonna give you a snippet. Michael Jackson was coming off the plane. I think he was like 17 years old. He was coming off the plane. He saw a lot of people, you know, just gathered around. They was mobbed up, and they was ready to go in. Okay, and he was scared. He was scared for his life. I think this was the first time this shit was happening. He was coming from London to back to U.S. and California, and looking at this shit, he realized that this is not what he really wanted. Because when he got to certain people looked at him like, ugh, you look different. You don't look like your pictures, or you look different in person. He started being self-aware of how he looked, because other people was judging him on how he looked. And he realized he didn't want to change how the fuck he looked for people, but he used it. He used that shit for his getaway. He used that shit to get away. He used that shit to get away. He held a lookalike contest. He hired some motherfuckers. He even put their lookalike. Did you not know that Oprah held an interview with the Michael Jackson lookalike winner? You can't find the interview. It's hard to find the interview. Oprah held a fucking contest with Jacko, the fake Michael Jackson, the one who danced like them, talked like them, lived his life like the entertainer Michael Jackson. That happened. Clearly, this person was introduced to the world by Oprah. And Oprah opened the door for this person to take over Michael Jackson's life. Yeah. Y'all did not know this, did you? You didn't see this. I wear glasses. I see through shit. You see through the bullshit. And I think what it is, you know, also it's meant for people, certain people, to see through shit. And the person who died was not Michael Jackson. The real Michael Jackson is chilling somewhere. Who knows? You know, and maybe this is what they call a conspiracy theory, or, you know, a theory. But that shit, that if that was the real Michael Jackson, and we haven't seen the fucking surgeries, we haven't interviewed the doctors who actually did the surgery, we haven't seen nobody who did the therapy to change his skin up, we haven't seen these methods. They didn't show none. I can't find none of this shit on the media. I can't see none of this shit. He never took us through the process of him changing his skin, changing his facial structure. I mean, for a person to be that absorbed inside themselves, to change themselves that much, you would think that they would show the process. But he didn't. And the information is out there somewhere. The videos, the notes, the doctors, all these motherfuckers are out there somewhere. And I would think it would be in good character and not trying to fool people and saying that this is Michael. I am Michael Jackson. I'm Michael. I just wanted to change up because I had emphysema. Whatever. Okay, that shit did not run in your family. It's just wow. And people are so gullible. Consumers, most consumers are gullible to believe that shit because they like listening to the music and they hypnotized. But anyhow, Dave Chappelle, man, listen. The real Dave Chappelle, man, I know you out there. I know you listening to this video. And I want to say to you, man, why you sell out? You know? Why? Why do we why are we still selling each other out for fantasy dollars? Like, fuck, I need a meal. I would love to have a meal. Fuck that. Just to inflame my fucking ideas and imagination, just like everybody else. Fuck that. But selling myself out. Now, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of trannies rape people too. A lot of people don't realize that shit. A lot of people don't realize that there's some fucked up ass trannies out here. There's some fucked up ass nuts cases running around trying to take shit that ain't theirs and trying to assume that every fucking man is a fucking woman. Like, this is how diseases are created. When you're doing things against nature, nature has a fucking mechanism that strikes back. Nature has this thing where, okay, this is not supposed to happen, so this is a reaction, an effect that's gonna take place to correct itself. And then during this correction, there's an insurrection that happens, that takes place, and it puts a lot of shit in purgatory. You know what I'm saying? And you can't do shit about it. But try to make up a vaccine or try to do some medicine type shit, try to make up some, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Listen, man. This is Said Blaze. And I'm only here to entertain you, entertain your mind, make you think about shit other than what the media is putting out to program your ass, to make you feel as though, hey, you can treat people any kind of way, you can do people any kind of way. No. There's a such thing as called love. Love does not come in the form of toughness. Love is effortless. Period. It has no fucking effort at all. As a matter of fact, it's the energy that flows off of positivity. Even during fucked up times, there's a beautiful energy that keeps you calm. It keeps you clear-headed. It keeps your heart open and your mind open. And it protects you. It protects your spirit to the point where you do not look at all things in a negative manner. Your mission is positivity. Your mission is to stay in a positive mode. If you can't do that, then you are supposed to stay neutral. My mother did say something that was worth me listening to, and I kept, and that is, if you don't have nothing nice to say, do not say nothing at all. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to put your own opinion and own spin on things. Who's not doing it? You don't have to be a professional. You don't have to go through a fucking school or educational system to express yourself. You don't. You can just be you and take all the experiences that you have been through throughout your whole life and use that as leverage. Just use it. Turn it into a positive thing and move forward. Move forward in such a way where your life is moving so beautifully. You're seeing beautiful things. You're traveling to beautiful places. You're accumulating beautiful things and you're eating good shit. Like real good shit. I ain't talking about no fucking shit that clogs up your arteries and make your colon hard, give you mucus. I ain't talking about none of that shit. I'm talking about real shit. I'm talking about shit that gives you life, that does not have heart, beat, blood flow, veins. Stop playing. Be good. Be love. Stay positive. And don't fall for all this bullshit hype. I'm just speaking out. This is only entertainment. This is entertainment only. And this is my station, Said Blaze, signing off. Catch you later.